Hey fellow T-Dubbers, if you're watching this video, my assumption is you have a Yamaha TW200 or maybe you're looking at getting one. I wanted to just do a quick video today on the Tusk Adventure Pro handguards that I recently installed. I watched a lot of videos and did a lot of research on different handguards, and frankly I heard some horror stories about how difficult these were to put on. Some guys ended up grinding on brackets and everything else. So found a few little tips and tricks that I think will probably help you out. So if you've got a TW200 and you're looking at putting the Tusk Adventure Pro or the D-Flex Pro handguards on, let's take a look at some of the tips and tricks that I can offer that hopefully will save you a little time. Just to start out, just let me say that I am very impressed with the quality of these handguards. So I just took about a 30-mile ride. So that's one of the reasons the bike is dirty, and there might be a few scuffs on the handguards already. But very high quality. Everything fit exactly like I would have hoped it would. So based on the quality of the hardware and everything else that I've seen, I can't imagine them having any longevity issues. So I'm going to give them 5 stars for certainly for the quality of what I experienced with the Tusk handguards. So I started on the easy side first, so the clutch side, and all I did is I took a X-Acto knife, punched into the middle of the hand grip, and basically followed the inside of the handlebar tube around to cut that out, and that worked quite efficiently. Right here is a major tip. So these are the Adventure Pro handguards from Tusk, which include a longer end bolt and this spacer. And I think that spacer is key to having these fit so well on the TW200. I saw a review, it might have been on the Tusk website, where a person had mentioned adding these spacers in. So that was the reason I went with the Adventure Pro. And what that allows you to do is put your bracket so it doesn't interfere with the crossbar on the handlebars. So there's still some adjustment here, but I think without that spacer, you would have an interference. So I think this is one of the areas where guys were grinding these brackets in order to get that to clear. So I ended up with the model. So I wanted the silver bars and the black handguards. They didn't have them in the regular, so I went with the model which has the directionals, which I don't have installed. Not sure if I'm going to install them or not yet. But so if you order the Adventure Pro, it's going to come with that spacer, and that is, I think, part of the secret sauce to having these things fit so well. Here you can see the clutch side bar installed without the plastic handguard. You will need to choose the clamp for your specific handlebars. Since the OEM bars are 7/8, these are 7/8 clamps that I used. When ordering these handguards, they're essentially a compilation of 4 different components: the clamps, the bars, the plastic handguards themselves, and then the spacer and longer bolt kit. There is actually a 5th component, the black plastic rub cap that goes on the end of the bar is its own part number. At the end of the video, I'll include all of the part numbers that I use for my specific installation. For your specific application, part numbers may vary depending on bar size, black or silver bars, the color and style of plastic handguards, whether there's directionals, etc. Also keep in mind that this installation is on the stock OEM bars. If your bars are narrowed or you have aftermarket bars, obviously the fitment may change. So then I moved to the throttle side. So the first thing I did was remove the grip and the throttle tube. So 2 screws over here, remove this rubber boot. These 2 halves will come off, and then you'll see where you can slide your cables off. So once I had the grip and the tube on the workbench, I marked the center of the grip, and then I took the X-Acto knife again and I marked a circle with a small piece of tubing, so I had a guide, and I cut the end of the grip off, and then I used a step bit, which I'm sure you've probably seen. It starts, you know, at a 1/4 inch and goes up to 1 inch, and I started going in there. It grabbed a couple times, so I was concerned about cracking the throttle tube, but then it dawned on me that I have spade bits that I use for some woodworking, and I have a 7/8 spade bit, which is the same size as the handlebar. So what I ended up doing was going from the top side with the spade bit from the inside, and the throttle tube is slightly larger than 7/8 of an inch, but it essentially acted like a bushing, kept the 7/8 spade bit centered, and I was able to drill through. So if I were to do it again, I wouldn't have messed around with doing anything from the outside. I would have just put the handle grip with tube upright on a block of sacrificial wood and came down with a drill with the 7/8 spade bit from the inside and just let it walk all the way through, use light pressure, and probably would have been a little quicker and would have achieved the same result, but I think it would have cut the end of the grip easier than what I managed to do with the X-Acto knife. So that was a pleasant surprise with how well that was. It probably wasn't 10 minutes from the time I started disassembling the throttle until I had that ready to accept the handguard. Just a couple other things here. So underneath the clamp on the bar, I did put one wrap of electrical tape. I guess I try to keep things avoiding metal to metal or paint to paint as much as possible, and I figured I'd give it a little extra grip. And I use Loctite, blue Loctite on all the hardware, so I don't anticipate these moving anywhere. So the Pro comes with this replaceable scuff guard here, so if you do lay the bike down, you know, it's probably a few bucks if you're concerned about the scratches on the plastic. But as you can see here, there's plenty of clearance to the clutch lever. So no issues whatsoever with my hand hitting the bar. In fact, even if I extend my fingers out, I can't hit the bar. So again, just very impressed and pleased with the quality and the fit up. So the tightest area of the whole install is going to be between your master cylinder for your front brake and the bracket. So essentially install the bracket in the exact same place that I did on the clutch side, again getting it as close as you can to the crossbar on the handlebar, and then just kind of eyeballed its rotation. So initially I had loosened up the bolt for the banjo bolt and rotated the brake hose down a little bit, but it ended up not needing that, and it seemed like it put a little more tension on the brake hose. So I've got 30mm risers on here, so that's about, I think, as much as I would want to go with the stock hose. So once I realized that that's going to fit, then I pretty much move the banjo bolt back to its original location. But you can see the master cylinder essentially touches the Tusk handlebar clamp. So just wanted to again make this quick video and give you guys some pointers. But again, I think the big deal is getting that spacer right there, because that moves the whole handguard out 3/8 or 1/2 of an inch, which gives you that clearance that you need on the handguard or on the crossbar for the handlebars. So if you have any questions, comment below. But hopefully, if you're thinking about handguards for your T-Dub, this is helpful, and I couldn't recommend the Tusk off-road D-Flex Adventure Pro handguards anymore. So thanks for watching and keep riding.